Hey guys. Alright, today we are going to be talking about how to find the area of a circle. Make sure you write down everything you see on the screen and make sure you write down everything that I write down. Alright, so your objective for today, you will be able to calculate the area of circles. So let's review the parts of a circle. Well, first of all, we have the diameter, and that's going to be the distance across a circle, and it has to go through the center. And then the radius, that's going to be the distance from the center of a circle to the edge. Notice that if you take the radius here and the radius here, it makes the diameter. So the diameter is twice the radius, and the radius is just going to be half of the diameter. Alright, now area just means the number of square units enclosed in a figure, and in this case we're talking about circles. So we're just trying to figure out how many units, how many square units cover this amount of space. And the formula for area, we have area equals pi r squared. Keep in mind, whenever we have this pi right next to the radius squared, that means that we are going to multiply. So area equals pi times the radius squared. Alright, now pi is actually the ratio of the circumference of any circle divided by its diameter. So if you take the circumference of a circle, divide it by the diameter, you're always going to get this number. And that's why we always use it in these circle formulas. Now, whenever we're finding area, we are going to find exact answers and approximate answers. An exact answer means that the answer will be left in terms of pi, so that means we will solve everything in the problem except multiplying by pi. So our answer would look like 36 pi or maybe 12.6 pi. And you'll see an example of this on the next page. Now, if we are going to find an approximate answer, that means we will multiply by the approximate value of pi, 3.14. We say it's an approximate value because pi goes on forever and no one has found the end of it even to this day. So 3.14 means it has been rounded to the hundredths place, so it is an approximate value. Alright, so let's actually calculate the area of a circle. So in example 1, we have this circle right here. We have a radius of 5 feet, so I am just going to record that my radius equals 5. Now, I know that the area of a circle formula, area equals pi r squared. Now, we are going to find the exact answer, and we are going to find the approximate answer. So now I'm simply just going to plug in what I know. So obviously I don't know my area. So my area equals pi times the radius squared, and my radius is 5. Now, I have to find 5 squared first. 5 squared is 25, so that would be pi times 25. And then I would simply write that as 25 pi. This is leaving it in terms of pi, so this is the exact answer. So the area of the circle is 25 pi. Now, if I want to go for the approximate value, then I'm going to take 25 and multiply it by the approximate value of pi, which is 3.14. And then I'm going to go ahead and work that out over here. 3.14 times 25. Let me erase this little mark right here. Sorry about that. Alright, 5 times 4 is 20. Carry the 2. 1 times 5 is 5. Plus 2 is 7. 3 times 5 is 15. Bring down a 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 1 times 2 is 2. And 3 times 2 is 6. And when I add all of that together, I get this value. I have 2 decimal places up top, so I have to have 2 decimal places in my answer. And that means that my approximate area is going to be 78.50. And let's not forget our units. Our units are feet. So our area is going to be in feet squared. All right, example 2, we want to find the area of this circle. Now, we are given the diameter. Our diameter equals 30. Remember, the radius is half of the diameter. Half of 30 is 15, so my radius is 15. Now I'm going to take what I know and I'm going to plug it into the area formula. So area equals pi r squared. So the area equals pi times our radius, which is 15, and we want to have 15 squared. Alright, so that's going to be pi, and then 15 squared is 225, and then we would simply write that as 225 pi. So our exact area is 225 pi centimeters squared. But now we want to find the approximate, so we want to take 3.14 as the approximate value of pi. So my area will equal 225 times 3.14. I'm going to come over here and work that out. Alright, 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. Put my 0 down. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 1 is 2. Now I still have a third number to multiply by, so I have to put down 2 zeros. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. And 2 times 3 is 6. And then I'm going to add everything together. I have 2 decimal places up top, so I will have 2 decimal places in my answer. So our approximate area is 706.50 centimeters squared. Alright, example 3, find the radius of the circle if the area is 50.24 inches squared. Alright, so now we have to work backwards. We know the area is 50.24. So I'm going to write down what I know. Area equals 50.24. And we know that for pi, we are going to use the approximate value of 3.14. So I'm just going to take what I know and I'm going to plug it in to the formula area equals pi r squared. So that means 50.24 equals 3.14 times the radius squared. Alright, I'm treating this like my variable because I have the letter here. So I have my variable squared. Now remember, the variable wants to be isolated. If it's being multiplied by 3.14, then I have to divide by 3.14 on both sides. Now I'm going to come over here and work that out. 3.14 into 50.24. I'm dividing by a decimal, so I need to move my decimal to the right so that this looks like a whole number. I moved it twice to the right, so I have to do the same thing inside. So now I have 5,024 divided by 314, which will give us the same answer as 50.24 divided by 3.14. Alright, 314 cannot go into 5, it cannot go into 50, but it can go into 502 one time. And I'm going to subtract that out. 12 minus 4 is 8, 9 minus 1 is 8, and 4 minus 3 is 1. Then I'm going to carry down a 4. 314 will go into 1,884 6 times. And that's actually 1,884. I get a remainder of 0. So that means 16 equals r squared. So some number squared equals 16. So now I have to think, what is the square root of 16? I know my radius will equal the square root of 16. Well, we know that 4 times 4 is 16, so our radius equals 4. So our radius would be 4 inches. All right, example 4. The wheel shown below has a radius of 10 inches. The hubcap has a radius of 8 inches. What is the area of the tire portion of the wheel? Okay, so we are looking for the area of the tire. Now, to do that, we are going to have to find the area of the entire wheel. So for the entire wheel, the radius equals 10. And then we've got to subtract out this area of the hubcap. So for the hubcap, that radius is going to equal 8. So now I've got to find the area of both and find the difference between them. Alright, so for the wheel, area equals pi r squared, so that would be 10 squared. And then I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. So area equals 3.14 times 10 squared. And then 10 squared, we know that's 100. All right, now we are multiplying this number times 100. 100 has 2 zeros, so since I'm multiplying by 100, I can just take this decimal, move it 2 places to the right. So 3.14 times 100 equals 314. So area of the wheel, we've got 314 inches squared. Now for the hubcap. My area will equal pi 3.14 times the radius squared. So that is 3.14 times 64. And I'm going to have to work that one out. So we've got 3.14 times 64. 4 times 4 is 16. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5, and 3 times 4 is 12. Carry my 0 down. 4 times 6 is 24. 1 times 6 is 6, plus 2 is 8, and 3 times 6 is 18. And I'm going to add everything together. I will have 2 decimal places in my answer. So the area equals 200.96 inches squared. All right, now I'm not done. Remember, we're looking for the area of the tire portion of the wheel. So I've got to take the area of the whole wheel, subtract out the area of the hubcap, and that's going to let me know what the area of the tire is. So I've got to do the wheel minus the hubcap. So that would be 314 minus 200.96. Now, remember, if I have a whole number, it's like the period at the end of the sentence. Decimal goes here. And I have to line up decimals anytime I'm adding or subtracting. So I'm subtracting, I've lined up my decimals. I'm going to fill in zeros here. And I am going to borrow. All right, 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 9 is 0. 3 minus 0 is 0. I have to borrow again. Oh, no, sorry, no I don't. 1 minus 0 is 1, and 3 minus 2 is 1. Let me just erase that and redo it. Okay, that's better. So the difference between the wheel and the hubcap would be 113.04, and remember our units are inches squared. Alright, now it's time for you to try. Make sure you do complete this problem so you can get full credit on your notes. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next class period.